using the precedence diagramming method for project relationships. Well, let's go take a look what that means then. All right, so we'll scroll down here and we'll get down here a little bit here. Okay, PDM, right? So some of the neat things about this is we can actually see what's going to start before a second task, right? So we have these ideas of start to finish and finish to start. Now, the neat thing about that is then what we can do is we can say, okay, once we know where the different starting and ending is, we can now start working with, okay, how long is that first task going to take before the next one has to start? And by putting days, in this case, 7 days, 2 days, by putting that time in there, we're getting a good idea of what we need to be able to budget for time-wise. And we have a visual aspect that makes it very easy to see what is dependent upon each other, or what can be done in parallel, as in this case, right? So the other thing that we would want to answer then is, okay, well, if that's the question, right, then so what would our answer be for that? And the answer is pretty simple. We want to be able to show those relationships, and we want to be able to make sure that we have a visual for it. All right, let's take a look at number 2 here. Why is it important to document where slack is in the schedule? Think about that now. If something comes up with one of these issues here, so we have slack, yeah, slack. So in this one here, we're able to say, hey, there's 5 days of slack between these two events, even though they're running in parallel. That means we can go ahead and finish up something earlier and put more focus on this. Or if something was to go wrong, we know that we're going to be able to meet the timeline with this one because we still have time within, it's only a 2-day duration, to finish this off again. So deployment of the drones gets delayed, it's not going to be a big impact to us. So the best thing about this, that one then, is, if we go back up here, why is it important to document where the slack is? So that you know where you have ability and which part of the project you can push back on as far as your timeline goes. So you can have bad weather or something like that, no problem. We know that we can delay deployment of the drones. However, there's another thing called, sorry, let's go down here, critical path. Now, critical path, by definition, is fixed times. This is the critical stuff. If these things do not happen in this order or in this time frame, you will have delays. So a critical path is the activity with the longest duration, and it's the one that if that is a hard set time. So the big thing with critical path is if you have any delay to it, you're not going to have any slack to take from it because it's going to have a fixed definition of time that it takes to get it done. And therefore, the biggest thing is that your critical path will be impacted. Therefore, your project as a whole will be impacted from finishing it on time.